to my channel. I just wanted to talk about all about moving out, getting your first apartment, all the steps you have to do to get that first apartment, and just moving out maybe before you think other people should, or before you think you're ready, and how to know you're ready and all that. So let's just get like right into it. I got hella tips, so let's get into this. Obviously, the first step is you need to have a job. Clearly, can't pay for an apartment without having a job. And I would consider like also like how are you gonna pay for this apartment, whether it's like you're gonna have roommates or you're gonna move in with more than one person, your boyfriend, you know, your family members, whoever it's gonna be. Just, you know, figuring all of those logistics out very early on. You don't want to make that as a last step decision. That wants to be like your first decision. So step one, I really think, is just figuring out who you're living with, or if you're living by yourself, and also figuring out your job situation. My best advice is to budget ahead of time. So like budget as soon as you figure out like your apartment and budgeting how much you can actually afford. I would put that money away that you're gonna be paying for your apartment, put that in a savings account, put that you know, or if you don't have it, or you know, physically, you know, take the money out and do the little envelope savings thing, however you want to do it. I would strongly recommend that, because then one, by the time you move out, you're already used to basically paying rent. Two, you're gonna have a lot of money saved up, and three, you'll just feel more ready and not as rushed to just to make sure everything is done and taken care of to the best of like your abilities, you know. With saving, I would recommend, like, if you are not, or if you're not gonna be saving up for a long time, I would make sure you at least have 3 times your rent for the places that you're looking for. And I would budget out more than you think you're gonna need. Looking for apartments, the internet is a lie, so just budget more than you actually think that you need to budget for. So if you're looking for apartments that are $1,000, I would save $1,200. Like, just saving the extra money will, like, you know, help you in the long run, just because you don't, especially if you don't know exactly the place that you want to live at yet. That is also very helpful, just to be, like I said, as prepared as possible for whatever outcome, so you don't have to, you know, dissolve your process or wait any longer than you really want to. 50, 30, 20 is the budgeting tool that I was using. Basically, it means half of your income is going towards your bills. Try not to budget any more than that, because obviously you don't want to be put in an uncomfortable situation. You don't want to live somewhere and only be able to afford the rent and nothing else. Can't go shopping, can't go out with your friends, none of that. So yeah, 50, 30, so at least, so half your budget, half of your income is for taking care of all your bills and everything like that. 30% of your income is just for spending, so that's like fun things, groceries, random Target runs, those shoes you really want to get, all of that's in that spending budget. So you're only spending 30% of your income, and then the other 20%, we're putting that in savings. So when you're doing this before you actually move out, you're actually really saving like 70% of your income. I didn't save probably quite 70%, but I probably at least did like 60. Like every extra penny I had, I threw it into my savings account, because I knew that I was gonna need it in the future, and that was way more important to me than getting these extra pair of shoes. The 20% is really key, just because even after you move out and you're just starting to pay like your first rent, or starting to pay your own bills, you still want to constantly be saving. You still want a rainy day fund. You know, your car breaks down, you lose your job, or we go through a whole panorama, part 2, 3, episode 7, that you are still you know, you still on top of things and you don't want to be scrambling for money for rent or anything like that. Whenever you need it, you already have set the money aside for yourself. It isn't really like a step of moving out, but another thing that I would keep in mind with the under my step 2 is that when you're about to move, there will be a bunch of fees, you know, attached to that. So you have the application fee, there's an administrative fee, there's a dog fee. There's actually some places have a first rental fee, which I did not know about. So if you never rented somewhere before, that's extra money coming out of your pocket that you have to pay for before you can actually move in there. Have your coins stacked up just for all these extra things that are coming your way with the moving out process. So just want to be ready for all of that. In order to make your budget and know how much you're saving for, we need to start looking at places. So I recommend, I started looking super early, but I'm just a very anxious planner type person. I just want to know everything in detail, like before I actually do it. So I started looking, I've been saving for like a year. So I've probably been looking for a whole year since I started saving. Really started hardcore saving for like 6 months, but I've been looking at places for probably at least a year because I knew that I like, hey, this is the time, I'm ready to move out. So as soon as you're feeling like that, I would start looking at places just to get an idea of the things that you want. You know, what are your hard yeses, hard no's, and then be realistic. You know, it's gonna make you be realistic with yourself. What can I actually legitimately afford? Okay, I can't afford to live in that big city right now, you know, skyscraper with the views. I can't afford that right now. So let me like downsize. But on my yeses, I really need a washer, dryer, and unit. You know, you really need to make sure that you understand like what your hard yeses and hard no's. Like, yes, I really want this. What I would do is just make a pros, or like just basically just make a list, yeses and no's, just to categorize what, you know, your thought process is. You can also even make like a maybe pile, or like things that like, or things that are like wants and not needs. Like, oh, I really want to be, you know, this far away from downtown, but you know, if it's not a need, you know, then, you know, you can work with being a little bit farther. Oh, like I need somewhere that has pets and like allows dogs or cats or whatever you have. Obviously that would go on your needs list, and adding that to, you know, your budget, you know. So just making sure that you understand what your yeses, nos, wants, and needs are before even trying to like actually go look at places. Like when you're looking at apartments, I would go like apartments.com, obviously apartment list, I think that's what it's called, apartment, something like that. You can even just honestly just go on Google, because sometimes the people like places websites will pop up that are available that aren't on those websites. Rent.com is also one. So it's like a lot of different websites like that will get you ready for places that will give you like a good listing of apartments that you can look for in your area. After you're done step 3 and you all those other things, you've saved, you've budgeted, you've looked online, you have all that, I would also make a list of like your favorites. Like I made a top 10 list. That might be too many to some people, but honestly I think it was just enough, because I ended up probably looking at 10 apartments and I only liked really like maybe 3 of them didn't quite fit my criteria, didn't quite fit my budget. So you just want to give yourself like a little bit of wiggle room, just to like look around and have plenty of options. So I would say like give myself like, oh, these are 10 apartments I want to look at, that, you know, I seem to like online, because girl online and in real life, 2 different things. 2 different things. Some of these places, I went to this one place, that place looked like a dark hole. I felt like I feel like I walked into a freaking cave when I walked in there. No. So you just have to, you know, that's why you go in person. Even if you're moving out of state, like if it's possible for you to go to that destination, catch a quick flight just to go look at some apartments in real, I think that that's very valuable, because some places will really show their true colors, you know, in person. And you know, you really want to catch a vibe at a place too, okay? Like, you know, is the staff there nice? Like, did you see, like, you know, did it look dirty on the property when you went to go visit it? You know, did the people that were living there, were they rude? Were they loud? Were they, you know, doing this, that, and the third? You know, did you see other people? Did you see kids around, or did you see a lot of college students? Like, you know, get the vibe or what you're looking for. The thing I would also look at is, like, go drive around, like, the surrounding areas, you know, because another thing is, like, you don't really want to be that far from, like, or maybe it's just me, but, like, I didn't want to be far from, like, a grocery store or, like, a Target or something like that. Like, I don't want to have to drive, like, on multiple freeways, take 45 minutes to get to the nearest grocery store because it's too far, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you do want, you know, so just check your surrounding areas. What's close to you? Are there, like, you know, cool shops nearby? Like, what's the vibe of the area, you know, that you're moving into? I would also look into that. For whatever reason you can't go in person to look at these places, I would, one, call the leasing office, and even though you see pricing online, ask for pricing over the phone, because sometimes the pricing online is not the same that they actually have at the office, which is how much they are going to charge you. So I would, one, call the leasing office and be like, hey, how much is the rent here? Because sometimes I showed up to some apartments and it was like, girl, this rent is $300 more than it said online. So and it's just like the market changes pretty often, so like you could see one price and they don't check it or change it as much as you think they should. So yeah, I would definitely call for that. Two, if you cannot go in person, I would ask if you could do like a virtual tour, if they do like FaceTime tours, Skype tours, things like that, something other than just the like the 3D online tour. Like, I just want to, like, no, I want you to walk me through, you know, so we can actually, so, you know, the closest you can actually be to seeing what the place looks like in real time, you know, without good lighting, without flash photography and all of those things, you know. Ask for advice from people that you care about, whether it be asking advice from your parents, asking advice from other friends that you know that have already moved out, or just, you know, aunts, uncles, your grandparents, whoever. Just ask their advice. They have all done it before and you haven't. So you just want to take whatever, take their wisdom, take whatever advice they need to have for you. And, you know, maybe they'll be willing to help you out, or share with you some wisdom, some things that you did not, you know, maybe you weren't prepared for it. Maybe you didn't budget that correctly, you know. So just asking them for their advice. Another thing that you should do before moving out, credit score. Places are gonna check your credit score, your credit history. So if you don't have any credit right now, like you're really young, you've never had a credit card or a car payment or anything like that, I would get started on that, because they're gonna check your credit score. And some places won't approve you if you're not at a certain credit limit. Even if you're like moving in with somebody else, or maybe you'll need a co-signer or something like that. So I would also look into those kind of things. And thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful to somebody, anybody trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do right now, or what, and how I got to this place waiting to get approved for an apartment. So yep, so I'll see you guys in my next video, hopefully somewhat regularly now. But yeah, so have a good day. Bye.